Have you ever had have you ever had to deal with toxic workplaces or difficult, managers skip? I mean, everyone seems to have by this point in their career. And do you have any strategies for that?
Probably haven't dealt with, what I'd call, toxic and things like that. I think one of the things I've resolved, often in my career is knowing when to leave, knowing when to move on from an emergent culture that isn't me. And I'd encourage most folks to be mindful of what's worse, leaving a year too early or staying a year too late. And I think for me, it's absolutely been the former. I've made decisions in my career that have probably even affected my commercial prospects because I've decided to leave a little early because I sensed the emergence of a culture, maybe even a leadership culture that just wasn't me. And that's okay. Every organization evolves. This invisible force called culture is a thing. And so for me, I think my best coping mechanism has been to move on. And it's not just companies, by the way, right? It's not just organizations, it's places, it's where you live. I mean, the other thing I've benefited from is I've moved a lot, right? I grew up in New York City, but I've lived in many countries and many cities, and we've moved a ton. And so I think part of that also is how I constantly ensure I'm in cultures that inspire me, that can teach me. And I'm really lucky now here in Blacksburg, Virginia, at Virginia Tech, to be benefiting from a culture that feels like me.